the enemy within. I, the Lord, search the heart and test the mind, to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his deeds. After an illogical military tactic, the walls of Jericho fell. Israel entered the city and razed it to the ground. Victory whose? Elohim's, since Israel had little to do with it. After a well-thought-out military tactic, Ai wins. Defeat by whom? By the people of Israel, since they hadn't counted on Elohim. When they finally questioned Elohim, the answer was resounding. Israel has sinned and can no longer defeat its enemies. How can it regain divine favor? The cause of the defeat, dismayed and afflicted, discovering the transgressor. I can sin, victorious again. The cause of the defeat. Israel has sinned, they have violated my covenant, which I commanded them to keep. They have taken some of the devoted things. They have stolen, they have lied, they have put them with their own possessions. After the favorable report from the spies sent to Jericho, Joshua consulted Elohim and received from him the strategy for taking the city. If after receiving the report from the spies sent to Ai, Joshua had done the same, the deaths of 36 people would have been avoided. But what was the real reason for the defeat, or what would have been the reason for Elohim to tell Joshua not to attack Ai? Elohim had seen that Israel has sinned. Nowhere in the Bible is sin described with such nuances. They have violated, they have taken, they have stolen, they have lied, they have put them with their own possessions. Note the plural. The sin was committed by one man, but Elohim held the entire people responsible. They had broken the covenant. Sin had to be rooted out so it could be restored. Dismayed and afflicted. And Joshua said, Alas, sovereign Lord, why did you ever bring these people across the Jordan to deliver us into the hands of the Amorites to destroy us? If only we had been content to stay on the other side of the Jordan. Joshua and the elders were dismayed by the defeat at Ai, and they showed clear signs of mourning. Joshua then reacts with a tantrum similar to Israel's repeated reaction during the 40 years of wandering. Why did you bring us across? If only we had been content to stay. However, Joshua's spirit was not the same as that of the Israelites in the desert. His complaint was not motivated by disappointment, but by fear that Elohim's name would be dishonored among the Gentiles. He clearly saw that Elohim's character would be interpreted by unbelievers based on how his people acted. Today we continue to be Elohim's testimony in the world. What a great responsibility. Discovering the transgressor. In the morning, present yourselves tribe by tribe. The tribe that Lord chooses shall come forward, clan by clan. The clan the Lord chooses shall come forward, family by family. And the family the Lord chooses shall come forward, man by man. To remove a corporate sin, the guilt of the entire people, the sinner had to be eliminated. Wouldn't he be forgiven if he repented? Of course he would, but Achan showed no sign of sincere repentance, and he had plenty of opportunities to do so. The investigation process was announced and postponed until the next day. Achan fell silent. The tribe of Judah was taken. Achan fell silent. The family of Sarah was taken. Achan fell silent. The leader of Sabdi was taken. Achan fell silent. Achan was taken. Achan fell silent. Reflecting divine kindness and love, Joshua asked Achan to confess his sin. Achan's case was lost. He confessed, but he didn't ask for forgiveness. Yet Elohim mourned over his hardness of heart, demonstrated in every call to repentance. Achan's sin. When I saw the plunder, a beautiful robe from Babylonia, 200 shekels of silver, and a bar of gold weighing 50 shekels, I coveted them and took them. They are hidden in the grounds inside my tent, with the silver underneath. Joshua asked Achan to give glory to Elohim and confess his sin. It was his last chance. If when he confessed, he had asked for forgiveness, but he didn't, and there was no forgiveness for him. Like Achan so desired and took, and his sin affected many, like Ananias and Sapphira. Achan took some of the accursed things dedicated to Elohim and paid for them. The decisions Achan made in Jericho were diametrically opposed to those of Rahab. Rahab, she hid the spies on the roof. She acted kindly toward Israel. She favored victory because of her faith. She made a covenant with Israel. She freed his life and that of her family. Achan, he hid the loot in the ground. It, it brought trouble to Israel. He caused defeat by his works. He broke the covenant of Israel. He died with his family. Victorious again. Then the Lord said to Joshua, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Take the whole army with you and go up and attack Ai. For I have delivered into your hands the king of Ai, his people, his city, and his land. As in Jericho, Elohim provided Joshua with the strategy to gain victory over Ai. During the night, an ambush was set up behind the city. At dawn, the army approached Ai and pretended to flee before them again. As Moses raised his staff until he had victory over the Amalekites at Elohim's command, Joshua raised his weapon, probably a sickle sword used by the Egyptians, and kept it raised until he had complete victory. Elohim was once again giving victory to his people. The valley of Achor, where Achan and his family were executed, opened the door to victory, a door of hope. When we accept divine forgiveness by faith, Elohim buries our sin in Achor and opens the door to hope. The influence most to be feared by the church is not that of open opposers, infidels, and blasphemers, but of inconsistent professors of Messiah. These are the ones who keep back the blessings of the Elohim of Israel and bring weakness upon the church, a reproach that is not easily wiped away. Christianity is not to be merely paraded on the Sabbath and displayed in the sanctuary. It is for every day in the week and for every place. Its claims must be recognized and obeyed in the workshop, at home, and in business, transactions with brethren and with the world.